Hi everyone, Jonathan here. Today, I'm going to introduce you to your first shoulder control exercise, the shoulder pull back to the wall. The shoulder pull back to the wall is not only a great exercise to learn shoulder control, it's also one of the best specific exercises to stretch and open your shoulders for handstands. From a handstand back to the wall, with your legs straight and tight together and your shoulders pushing as tall as you can, start pushing into your fingers and slowly shift your shoulders away from the wall or backwards, until you feel like you barely have any weight on the wall at all. Our first step is simply going to be shifting your weight away from the wall a little bit, and then come back. Then go a bit more until your toes leave the wall and hover. Then come back to the wall again. The whole time, your center of gravity should still be over your fingers, so you shouldn't go so far that you fall off the wall. I suggest doing 2 or 3 sets of 5 each training until you get familiar with the exercise. The next step is to push into your fingers and shift your shoulders until your feet come off the wall a tiny bit, then finding a straight line again. To do so, bring your legs and hips away from the wall, but you move your back and shoulders more towards the wall again. If you leave your shoulders and back away from the wall, while also bringing your legs to a straighter line, all of your weight will shift to the heels of your hands or even past them, and you will fall back down to your feet. Useful cues is to move very slowly and deliberately, and when you shift your shoulders, it should feel a little bit like a back bridge does. Once your weight is off the wall and you transfer back to a straight line, keep your shoulders open, but shift them so they are right above the middle of your hands. You can also change the difficulty level of the exercise by moving your hands closer or farther away from the wall. The farther your hands are, the bigger the shoulder shift you will need to make. And the closer you are, the smaller the actions you will need to pick your feet off the wall will be. Make sure to start with a distance that's maybe a little bit too easy, but it helps you figure out the right motion. Only after you have understood the right motion should you increase the difficulty. Things to watch out for are closing your shoulders when you shift or straighten your line, sinking in the shoulders, or letting your ribs flare out. All of those mistakes are related. Another mistake is to move too fast and use momentum, or to use your legs to help yourself. This exercise should be fully isolated to your upper body, and your legs should stay tight and straight, but passive. Also, this exercise is useful to teach you bigger corrections when doing freestanding handstands, in which case you wouldn't be able to use your legs at all, so don't pick up bad habits. One last mistake is to find your line without marking and holding the position. Every time you come off the wall, whether you find your position, or whether you are tired or not, hold the handstand for 2 or 3 seconds. The shoulder pull back to the wall is an exercise that can pay off in many different ways. It can act both as a passive and an active stretch to open your shoulders. It's specific to handstands, so it helps carrying over flexibility in some other exercises. It teaches you how shifting your shoulders influence your balance and how to make a big correction if you're falling over. It's an amazing exercise and I highly recommend it. This concludes today's video. Train hard and let me know how it went. See you next time.